On the morning of December 24th, a 19-year-old young woman stepped outside her home in northwest Bexar County, Texas, following a routine she had repeated countless times before. She walked calmly, alone, and along a familiar route. There were no signs of distress, no struggle, no urgency. Yet she never returned. Her name is Camilla Mendoza Olmos. What makes this case deeply unsettling is not what was seen but what wasn't. Surveillance footage shows Camilla moving independently. No one appears to be forcing her. No confrontation is visible. And still, within minutes, her trail disappears entirely. Authorities have since classified her as being in imminent danger. Launching extensive search efforts and releasing footage meant to help the public understand her final known movements. But instead of answers, that footage has raised more questions. How does someone vanish in plain sight during a normal morning without leaving behind a digital or physical trail? Tonight, this video takes a careful, fact-based look at what is known, what remains unclear, and why this investigation continues to demand urgent public attention. Before we go any further, this is one of those cases where awareness matters. If you're watching right now, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel to support responsible true crime coverage. Leave a comment with your thoughts on this case and let us know where you're watching from. Every interaction helps keep this case visible. And in situations like this, visibility can make a real difference without speculation, without rumors, and without misinformation. Camilla Mendoza Olmos was not a stranger to routine. At 19 years old, she was living at home with her family in northwest Bexar County, Texas, following a structured and predictable daily life. Those who knew her described her as quiet, thoughtful, and consistent, someone who found comfort in familiarity rather than risk or impulsive behavior. Her days followed patterns. She maintained close contact with her family, did not have a history of running away, and had never disappeared or cut off communication without explanation. There were no known conflicts, no reports of escalating stress, and no indications that she was preparing to leave home or start a new life elsewhere. One of Camilla's most established habits was her morning walk. Nearly every day, she would leave the house early and follow the same route through her neighborhood. This routine wasn't casual or spontaneous, it was a grounding ritual, something she did deliberately and consistently. Her family was familiar with it. Neighbors were familiar with it. Nothing about that walk was considered unusual. On the morning of December 24th, Camilla left the house at approximately 7 a.m. Just as she had done many times before. Her mother later confirmed hearing her leave. There were no raised voices, no signs of distress, and no indication that anything was wrong. What Camilla left behind is just as important as what she took with her. Her cell phone remained in her room, uncharged. Her vehicle stayed parked at home. There were no packed bags, no missing belongings, and no evidence that she planned to be gone for more than a short period of time. For a 19-year-old in 2025, leaving home without a phone even briefly is unusual. Phones are not just communication devices. They are lifelines, navigation tools, and safety measures. These details matter. They suggest that Camilla did not anticipate needing help, directions, or contact with anyone outside her immediate surroundings. Everything about her departure pointed to a normal morning, not a decision to disappear. Understanding who Camilla was before she vanished is critical, not for sympathy alone, but for context. Her routines, habits, and predictability are what made her disappearance immediately alarming and why investigators and family members knew something was wrong almost from the start. The timeline of Camilla Mendoza Olmos' disappearance is deceptively simple. Yet within that simplicity lies the most troubling aspect of the case: how quickly an ordinary morning turned into uncertainty. The night before, December 23rd, passed without incident. Family members have not reported any arguments, unusual behavior, or concerning interactions. According to available statements, Camilla's evening was routine. This detail is important because it establishes that her disappearance was not preceded by visible conflict or disruption. At approximately 7 a.m. on December 24th, Camilla left her home for her usual morning walk. Her mother heard her leave but did not visually observe her departure. There were no signs of urgency, fear, or distress. Everything about that moment aligned with Camilla's established routine. Shortly after leaving the house, Camila se ringue camera. The footage shows her standing in her driveway near her vehicle, briefly looking into the back seat. Investigators have not confirmed what, if anything, she was checking for. No one else appears in the frame. There is no confrontation, no visible struggle, and no indication of immediate danger. After this moment, Camilla continued along her familiar walking route through the neighborhood. This is where the first confirmed segment of her journey ends. Days later, a second piece of footage surfaced. A motorist reviewing their dash camera discovered video showing Camilla walking alone along a nearby roadway. Law enforcement later confirmed that the timing and location of this footage aligned with the minutes immediately. Following her appearance on the Ring camera. In the dash cam footage, Camilla appears calm and unaccompanied. There are no visible signs of distress, no interaction with others, and no indication that she was being followed or coerced. From the moment she left her driveway to the end of this recording, every confirmed movement shows her acting independently. After that point, the timeline breaks. There are no additional verified sightings, no digital activity, and no confirmed evidence placing Camilla anywhere beyond the range of that dash cam footage. Her phone, left behind at home, provided no location data. Her vehicle remained parked and unused. This gap between the last confirmed sighting and everything that followed is where uncertainty takes over. It represents the moment when a routine walk became a missing person investigation, and where every unanswered minute now carries weight. In missing person investigations, evidence does not always provide answers. More often, it defines boundaries: what can be confirmed and what remains unknown. In Camilla Mendoza Olmos' case, the available evidence is limited but significant, and each piece plays a specific role in shaping the investigation. Physical evidence. Camilla's cell phone was found in her room, uncharged. For a 19-year-old, this detail stands out. Phones are not just communication tools. They are navigation aids, safety devices, and a primary means of staying connected. Leaving it behind immediately cut off any possibility of digital tracking after she left home. Her vehicle remained parked at the house and showed no signs of use. There were also no packed bags, missing clothing, or personal items suggesting preparation for a long-term absence. Together, these details indicate that Camilla did not appear to plan to go far or be gone for long. First video evidence: Ring camera. The neighbor's Ring camera footage is the earliest confirmed visual record of Camilla that morning. It shows her standing in her driveway, briefly looking into the back seat of her car. Investigators have not confirmed what she may have been looking for. Importantly, no other person appears in the footage. There is no confrontation, no struggle, and no visible sign of fear. From an investigative standpoint, this footage establishes two critical facts. Camilla left her home voluntarily, and she was behaving normally at that moment. Second video evidence: dash cam footage. Days after Camilla was reported missing, a motorist discovered dash cam footage showing her walking along a nearby roadway. Law enforcement verified that the timing and location were consistent with her usual route shortly after she left her driveway. In this footage, Camilla is seen walking alone. There are no interactions with others, no visible distress, and no indication of coercion. This recording confirms that she continued moving independently beyond her home and into the neighborhood. What the evidence confirms and what it does not. Taken together, the phone, vehicle, and video footage confirmed that Camilla left home on foot, followed her routine, and remained unaccompanied for at least several minutes after departure. What the evidence does not provide is equally important. It does not explain where she went after the dash cam footage ended. It does not reveal her intentions, her destination, or whether she encountered someone later. And it does not point to a definitive cause for her disappearance. This kind of evidence does not solve a case on its own. Instead, it narrows the focus, guiding investigators toward plausible scenarios while leaving the investigation open to new information. From the moment Camilla Mendoza Olmos was reported missing, law enforcement treated the case with urgency. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office took the lead, coordinating closely with local police departments, volunteer search groups, and specialized units to expand the scope of the investigation as quickly as possible. Within a short time, authorities issued an official alert indicating that Camilla was believed to be in imminent danger. This designation is not routine. It reflects a heightened level of concern and signals the need for rapid action and public awareness. The goal was clear: generate visibility early, while potential evidence and memories were still fresh. Search efforts were extensive. Dozens of personnel and volunteers canvassed neighborhoods near Camilla's last known locations. Investigators reviewed security footage from homes and businesses, collected dash cam recordings from motorists, and conducted ground searches in areas she may have passed through. Where possible, drones and search dogs were deployed to cover terrain that could not be easily searched on foot. Despite these efforts, investigators have been transparent about the challenges they face. Camilla left on foot, and her phone remained at home, leaving no digital trail after her initial movements. Without GPS data, call records, or app activity, law enforcement has had to rely heavily on physical searches, video evidence, and public tips. Authorities have also been careful in how they communicate with the public. In official statements, they consistently separate confirmed facts from unverified possibilities. They have emphasized that the investigation remains active and open, and that no single theory has been ruled in or out. Every lead is assessed, but investigators rely on evidence rather than assumptions. This methodical approach may appear slow from the outside, but it is standard in cases where information is limited and conclusions must be supported by verifiable data. Understanding how law enforcement is approaching this case helps explain why some questions remain unanswered and why public cooperation, when handled responsibly, continues to be a critical part of the investigation. As the investigation continues, law enforcement has outlined several investigative considerations based on the available evidence. These are not conclusions. They are structured possibilities that help guide search efforts and decision-making as new information emerges. Voluntary departure. One consideration is that Camilla may have continued walking of her own accord beyond the area captured on camera. The available footage shows her moving independently, calmly, and without visible interference. However, Investigators have emphasized that there is no evidence suggesting she planned to leave home permanently. The absence of her phone, vehicle, and personal belongings weighs heavily against the idea of a deliberate, long-term departure. Emotional or psychological distress. Authorities have also acknowledged the possibility that Camilla may have been experiencing internal distress that influenced her actions. This consideration is handled cautiously and respectfully. There has been no public confirmation of a crisis, and no assumptions have been made about her mental state. Investigators include this possibility because unexplained behavior can sometimes stem from factors not immediately visible to family or friends. Third-party involvement. Although the videos show Camilla alone during her last confirmed movements, investigators continue to assess whether she could have encountered someone after leaving the range of recorded footage. At this time, there is no confirmed evidence of abduction, coercion, or foul play. Still, law enforcement has not ruled out third-party involvement. AS is standard procedure in missing person cases where the endpoint of movement is unknown. What is critical to understand is that these scenarios are tools, not narratives. They allow investigators to remain flexible, responsive, and thorough as they evaluate leads. None of them have been elevated above the others due to a lack of definitive proof. By framing possibilities carefully and without speculation, authorities aim to protect the integrity of the investigation, while remaining open to information that could clarify what happened after Camilla was last seen. While each missing person case is unique, Camilla Mendoza Olmos exists within a broader context that can help the public understand potential patterns and risks without implying connections that do not exist. In Bexar County and surrounding areas, law enforcement has documented cases where young individuals have temporarily gone missing and later been located unharmed, as well as cases where outside factors contributed to their continued absence. Highlighting these circumstances is not meant to create fear, but to underscore the importance of community vigilance and rapid reporting. Authorities caution against drawing parallels to other cases without verified links. Each investigation involves its own timeline, environment, and set of circumstances. Public discussion of unrelated incidents can unintentionally spread misinformation or create assumptions that misdirect investigative efforts. The broader context also emphasizes the role of public cooperation. In many investigations, early and responsible reporting of sightings, recordings, or relevant information has led to timely resolutions. Camilla's case demonstrates the necessity of careful observation while her movements appeared ordinary. The lack of digital trail and physical footprints after a short period created a significant gap for investigators to resolve. By presenting the case within this broader landscape, viewers gain a realistic sense of both the challenges and responsibilities that come with following missing person investigations, while avoiding unfounded speculation or sensational comparisons. Even with the available footage, phone and vehicle information, and witness accounts, several critical questions remain unanswered in Camilla Mendoza Olmos' case. These gaps define the focus of the ongoing investigation and highlight why public awareness remains essential. 1. Endpoint of movements. After the dashcam footage, Camilla's trail goes cold. There are no confirmed sightings, no digital signals, and no evidence placing her anywhere beyond that point. This period of uncertainty is the most significant gap in the investigation. 2. Phone left behind. Her uncharged phone remained at home. Investigators must consider why she left it behind. Was it an oversight, forgetfulness, or an intentional decision? Each possibility carries different implications for her, intentions, and potential risks. 3. Potential third-party contact. Though she was alone in all known footage, investigators cannot yet rule out whether she encountered someone after leaving. The range of the cameras. This remains a standard line of inquiry in missing person cases. 4. Environmental factors. Road conditions, terrain, or other physical factors may have influenced her route or visibility. Authorities are considering these elements as they assess possible scenarios. Chimmy gaps. Every unobserved minute after her lost. Confirmed location creates a critical window in which multiple possibilities exist. These gaps are not evidence of investigative failure, but they highlight the inherent complexity of missing person cases. 6. Public tips and unverified leads. Investigators depend on credible public information to fill gaps. However, unverified reports or speculation can divert resources from actionable leads, which is why responsible public engagement is emphasized. These unanswered questions define the contours of the investigation. Each missing detail shapes search efforts, informs law enforcement strategy, and reminds everyone following the case that time is crucial. As of the most recent public statement, Camilla Mendoza Olmos remains missing, and the investigation is active and ongoing. Law enforcement continues to follow leads provided by both neighbors and members of the public, reviewing video footage, searching areas consistent with her last known movements, and coordinating with regional agencies for any related developments. Authorities have not confirmed any sightings beyond the initial dash cam and ring camera recordings. They emphasize that no evidence has emerged suggesting harm. But the classification of Camila as being in imminent danger underscores the urgency and seriousness of the case. Search efforts remain dynamic. Volunteers, canine units, and law enforcement personnel continue to examine locations that align with her known walking route. Public officials have reiterated the importance of sharing only verified information and contacting the sheriff's office or tip lines with credible observations. Investigators have also clarified that any theories circulating online from voluntary disappearance to potential foul play are not confirmed and are subject to continuous review as new information becomes available. The public is encouraged to remain alert, report anything relevant, and support the investigation responsibly. The current status reflects both the challenge of missing person cases and the meticulous, evidence-based approach law enforcement employs. While the case is unresolved, the ongoing investigation remains focused on securing concrete information rather than speculation. At the center of this investigation is not just a case file, it is Camilla Mendoza Olmos, a young woman with a life, family, and community who are all deeply affected by her disappearance. Each detail we've reviewed, each gap in the timeline, and every lead in the investigation serves a purpose: to locate her safely and understand what happened on that morning. While facts and footage can guide us, it is human awareness and responsible action that often make the difference in missing person cases. Observing carefully, reporting accurately, and avoiding speculation helps authorities focus on what matters most: finding Camilla and ensuring her well-being. For viewers, the takeaway is clear. True crime is not only about curiosity or intrigue, it is about compassion, vigilance, and respect for the individuals involved. By staying informed, sharing verified information, and maintaining a fact-based perspective, the public can contribute positively to the investigation. Camilla's disappearance reminds us that ordinary routines can change in an instant, and that even brief moments of uncertainty carry real weight for families and communities. Awareness, not fear or conjecture, is the most responsible response. I'm Detective B. If you're fascinated by real life, mysteries, and criminal investigations, tap like, subscribe, and share your opinion in the comments. I'd love to know where you're watching from and what you think about today's case. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, in true crime, the line between fact and perception is often thinner than we realize.